Hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I am Abby Taylor, and I'm very excited to be here with you all tonight and to be with the lovely Kayleen Yoder as well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about staying committed to your big goals that you set coming back from convention and how to lead yourself well as you navigate the process of going from where you are now to where you want to be. Guys, it's inevitable that mindset is going to happen, right? We're all coming off of this high and we're going back to life and trying to go back to adjusting to that and juggling all the things during the summer. So if that's you, you're definitely in the right spot. We're going to talk about all of that tonight. And, we've got 4 main points for you. We're going to try to keep it within the time limit. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So get your pencils ready, get your fingers ready to type, because here we are. Point number one for you all tonight is, in order to lead yourself well, you've got to set goals and take action. Number one, set goals and take action. Okay, so we really we need to know, you guys, what are those big goals that you set after getting back from convention? Yes, we want to hear it. Please put it in the chat. What are those goals that you are committed to working for, I should say, in this next quarter, or as we go through this summer into fall? We would love to hear it. Oh, I see some colored hearts for ranks. That's fun. Ooh, look at all these ranks popping up. Ooh, I love these intentional goals you guys are setting. These are big goals. I love them. So, this could be your next rank. This could be where you want to be in the next 3 months, how you want to finish out 2023. I love this, you guys. So good. So goal setting, as you guys know, is really, really important, right? Setting goals is going to give you the long-term vision, but also that short-term vision and motivation and inspiration as well. It's going to help determine what you want. What do you want, right? It gives your dreams direction. I love that, and aligns your focus. By setting sharp, clearly defined goals, you can take pride in the achievement of reaching those goals. And you're also going to see forward progress, because that's where we want to go, right? Forward progress, instead of what might have been, kind of the pointless grind or going around in circles. So we're going to have direction here. It's also going to raise your self-confidence when you're showing up for yourself, right? You're keeping yourself accountable. And then, of course, you're going to feel more confidence and competence as you achieve the goals that you've set. So I really love this formula. It is dreams, or your dream, plus action steps, plus target date equals goal met. And I don't mean target date like the store, right? Although I guess you could go to Target and work on your goals there. So consider this for me, you guys. What is your life going to look like when you reach your goals? What will your life look like if you don't reach your goals? You're going to compare the two, right? And once you feel that your goal is essential, like you need to go make this happen, you're going to be inspired to act. And that, in a sense, is developing your why, right? So see yourself succeeding, fully immerse yourself in your goal. How are you going to feel? All the senses when you reach your goal, right? And then you're going to condition your brain to believe that anything is possible. And that's a key step in achieving your dreams. So maybe you guys are like me and you have some fears around setting goals. Fear can make you put things off. It can make you procrastinate, make excuses. It makes you want to stay right where you are, where it feels safe. Maybe you're saying, I don't want to face the uncertainty, or you may even resist even setting goals or taking actions because of the idea of failing. Guys, we are wired to avoid pain, but we're also wired for growth. So we've got to shift our mind there. And I will tell you guys, I actually resisted setting goals for a long time. And you know what? I still struggle sometimes with that fear. What if I don't hit the next rank? What if I fall short? But I always ask myself, what if I do reach my goal? How is that going to change my life? How is that going to change my team? And then, of course, you can ask yourself, well, what if I don't reach my goal? Well, the worst case scenario is you go and you try again. And remember what John Maxwell said at convention, that failure and success, they go hand in hand. It's a partnership. It's a normal part of the growth process here. So if you're always resisting failure, guess what? You never get to experience success. I'm going to say it again. If you're always resisting failure, you will never be able to experience success. So good, right? That was like a light bulb for me today. Okay, so you've got your goals set. And if you don't, that is the very first thing you need to do when you leave this call is go and set some goals. But if you've got your goals set, now we create the roadmap, right? You're at point A, you need to get to point B. Remember that formula that your MET goal is your dream plus action steps. So how will you get there? Who are you going to go help? You can't do this alone, right? Who are you going to help go silver? Who are you going to help hit their next rank? Who are your gold bricks that you're working with? Who are you investing your time in? Who are you training? Who are you coaching? Who are you casting vision for? These are all really good questions to ask ourselves. And like I said, you can't do this alone. Everybody's going to win when we work together. So, IPA, of course, is super important. You guys know what that is: income or impact producing activities, new messages, new context. You're connecting with someone new every single day about Plexus, whether it's through Messenger, whether it's through a text, whether it's in-person conversation. You've got to always be expanding your network and your funnel. Follow-ups, follow-ups are going to bring your prospects back to consider joining you. It is a way of putting the offer back into the spotlight, so they're thinking about it again. So if you want your prospect to be focused on your offer, guess what? You need to get their attention. And that means you're back in their inbox. You're messaging them again. And then, of course, personal growth. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Input equals output. And customer care, right? Are you fully supporting your customers? Are they plugged into the system? Because I will tell you guys, when life gets crazy, when days go unexpected, systems are going to save you and your sanity and your business. So use your systems. And then lastly, how are you getting in front of your team? Are you hosting events? Maybe it's a coffee meetup with a prospect. Maybe it's a Zoom, sip and see, chat events. There's so many different options. All right, so that formula last time is dream plus action steps plus target date equals goal met. So a goal without an end date is actually just a dream, right? It's not tethered to anything. It's just floating out there. So it's like having a baby, right? The due date is coming. It gives you a reason to get out of bed each day, even when you have the backaches and the exhaustion is kicking in. You just know that I'm going to keep going because that due date, that end date, that goal is in mind, right? The reward is coming. The payoff is real. So, for me, this is where the fear can creep in. Yeah, if I've set a goal, knowing I have to go after it. I'm deciding to go after this. There's no relenting. And this is me saying I'm not allowing fear to make my choices anymore. I am fully in control of that. And that's where faith comes in too. So this will actually give you a healthy sense of pressure and urgency, right? If I'm waking up each day and I see Sapphire on my board, I'm going to be more likely to take my actions than if I'm just not having it at the front of my mind. So, these actions are going to move you in the right direction that you want to go. So lastly, set the date. When do you want to hit your next rank? When do you want to increase by 100 points? When do you want to develop that silver? When do you want to re-rank? Set a deadline, and that will encourage you to show up with intentionality each day on purpose. And guess what? When you hit your goals, you're going to be so proud of yourself, and that'll be a great big reason to celebrate your hard work. So write out your goals, put it somewhere you can see it each day, and allow it to bring you excitement and belief that you can go and achieve it. So did you guys get that all down for point 1? I know it's a lot. All right, Kayleen, you're next.
Abby, that's like rapid fire. Fire. So good. Well, I'm going to be touching on minding your mind. So mindset. So if you are new here, you might be hearing this for the first time, and you might be a seasoned veteran, but there's nothing new here. It's just part of nature. Like, we are always going to have to be battling our thoughts and our mindset as long as we are on the planet Earth. Okay. So here's a quick refresher. Let's simplify mindset. So guys, who is the father of lies? We all know, the one who looks to kill, steal, and destroy. Tell me, why are we entertaining these thoughts? Why? Because it's just only holding us back, and we have got to be gatekeepers in our own minds. We have to be vigilant. We have to be on guard over the thoughts that we're thinking, because it is vital to our well-being. It's vital to our families. It's vital to our business. Okay. And so what we are looking for here is to live a life of impact, not only for our families and for the kingdom of God, if you are here and you love Jesus, but also we want to impact people's lives. We want to offer hope and health and freedom to people. And so guess who hates that? The enemy. He hates it. And so it starts in our thoughts. Okay. And we live in a society where feelings are facts. Like, that is what we are seeing across our nation, is that whatever I'm feeling, that is the fact. Okay. And so guess what creates feelings? Our thoughts create feelings and the actions follow. So based off of what the initial thought is, it will produce either a negative feeling and a poor action, or a positive feeling and a positive action. And so let's talk about the importance of our thoughts in this network marketing industry. Okay, so we know that this business is 20% skill set, 80% mindset. I learned this in the Jewel breakout session at convention. And what they shared with us is basic skill sets with a limited or poor mindset can get you as far as gold or senior gold max. And so if that does not show you the importance of investing in personal growth and growing your mindset and having a positive mindset, your business depends upon it, because our business is 80% mindset. And so if you are stuck in negative thought processes, we need to really step back and think, what is this costing us? What is this costing you and your family, that you're not willing to work through these negative mindsets? And so an example that I want to share with you could be something like the thought, I don't know how to grow my business. Okay, that can be a current creation cycle that we're creating and that we're stuck in. And so what feelings does that create? Confusion, you feel dumb, you feel inadequate, right? And so the action that we take based off of that thought, I don't know how to grow my business, is you don't work, you don't take action, you complain, you feel stuck. Okay. But if we create a new intentional creation cycle, the thought that we can create and think is, I know exactly what to do next. What feeling does that produce inside of you? You feel empowered, you feel excited, you're clear on what the next steps are. And the action is you go and do the next right thing, right? And so, guys, we have the power to create an intentional creation cycle. We can create that. We don't have to stay stuck. Okay, another way to maintain and build a positive mindset is plugging yourself into our team community. Okay, we have to surround ourselves with like-minded people who are doing the same thing. We're in the trenches together. We're doing hard things. We're getting uncomfortable. But guess what? The enemy will find a way to get into our mindset when it comes to surrounding ourselves with a community. What typically happens when you join a community? We are prone and we are tempted to fall into that comparison trap, right? And so comparison is the thief of joy. We say this often, but guys, it is a lifeline. The community that we have here is a lifeline that is offering us experience. It's offering us hope. It's people who have already been doing what we are doing, and, feeding and encouraging and being excited for one another. And so it's super important that we're also vigilant about not falling into that comparison trap. And so a quote that I read today by Dr. Mark Hyman is, friend power is so much more powerful than willpower. Don't underestimate the ability of a group of people or even one person to support you. Find people who want to be healthy, who want to achieve, and who have already achieved. And it made me think, this quote made me think, if you were at convention, you heard about Team Hoyt and you heard about the miners. And the miners story for sure stood out to me in alignment with this quote is it took that group of people, it took that community to bond together and to cheer each other on and to have a positive mentality when they were stuck underneath the ground for however many days. It was 60 something, I think. And so that is how important it is to be plugged into a community that is adding value to one another and you also adding value back. Okay. And so Satan attacks because he's afraid of what is inside of you. He attacks because he wants to distract us from living an abundant life, full of purpose that's far reaching and impacting so many others. So each and every one of you who are here today, whether you're new or you're a veteran, you have qualities, you have gifts, you have hope to offer those in our community, but also people in your network. And so I want you to stop and ask yourself, do I believe this? Do I believe that I do have value to add, that I do have a purpose here, that I do have people who need me, right? And so this will help shift the mindset that you have of being stuck in comparison or stuck in, I don't belong here, or maybe I don't look. Listen, guys, before convention, I looked the same that I looked 3 years ago when I started Plexus, and I'm not happy about it. I'm a little bit puffier than many people on our team, but it was something that really had me struggling for a couple of days where I'm like, I'm going to convention and I've not changed. But it's me. I have some discipline that I got to work on, but that could have held me back, that comparison. But it's the value that I have. It's the leaders that I have that have invested in me. And I know that I have value to add to those who are at convention as well. And it's the relationships that encourage through the seasons. Guys, we're all on a journey. We're not all arrived. And so you've got to just be aware of those thoughts that you're thinking, and you've got to find the truth. And so I want to challenge you to write down this verse, at least the reference, and then write it down later. But it's Ephesians 3:20. And as Paul brought his prayer to a close here in Ephesians, he burst into praise, declaring that God can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. And so what we're doing here with Plexus can be so much bigger than us, okay? And what we are doing is we're putting our hand to the plow with an expectation that we are going to reap a harvest. And so going into our work with a mindset is a choice. And so we can choose to be joyful in the mundane. We can seek to serve others. We can have an abundance mindset and not choose to stay stuck in the victim. You are the bearer of hope to those around you. People are attracted to who you are. And so I want to encourage you to let the world see you. Be genuinely and authentically you, and be focused on what impact you do have in this world while you have breath.
Aileen, that was so beautiful. Great job. I love it. Okay, so point 3 for you guys is, as you are pursuing your goals and leading yourself well, is to 3, manage your time well. Manage your time well. So maybe some of you guys have heard of the 15-4 rule. Spending 15 minutes thinking about what you're going to do before you start will save 4 hours of wasted time later on. Some of you need to hear that again. Any individual who has thought through her day, set priorities, organize the day's tasks, is likely to accomplish far more than someone who randomly moves through the day. So learning how to be proactive versus reactive with my time has really saved my sanity. I was that wing it girl for the first 3 years of my business, still working on it in some areas, but my stress level was so high. I was set off by every tiny thing. When things didn't go right, I was upset, and, I would sit down to work and actually not even know what to do. So I'm definitely not perfect in this area, but I have grown so much here and in this area. And I find that for me, it is everything to sit down for 15 minutes. Now I do this at night. Some of you might do this in the morning, but I sit down 15 minutes every night before I go to bed, no matter how late it is. And on my Remarkable, I'm writing down my next day. And this has helped me tremendously, you guys. So I will write down my priorities. What time am I waking up? When is my God time going to be? When am I leaving to take my kids to swimming lessons? And when am I coming back? What are my set family hours going to be, which are always the same for me? It's always 4:30 to 7, but family time is on there. Phone is down. When is bedtime for my kids? And am I doing bedtime? Is my husband doing bedtime? Have we communicated about this? Are we on the same page? When are my coaching calls? When are my welcome calls during the day? From there, once I have those priorities set, those non-negotiables, then I'm able to pencil in my IPA time, right? I will even delegate the pieces of my IPA time. So I've got 30 minutes here while my kids are resting. Okay, I'm doing new messages and follow-ups. I'm sitting at swimming lessons. I'm engaging on social media. Maybe for you, you're sipping your coffee in the morning and that triggers that you're sending out 2 business voice clips. Whenever you sip your coffee, you do your business voice clips, right? Habit stacking. So, maybe you're sitting outside in your car in the driveway while you do a call so that you can be focused on the task at hand. I have someone on my team that does that, and I think it's so smart. You leave the kids inside to play for a bit, you step out, you have some focused, quiet time there. So, every action that you guys plan to take, it needs a place in your day or it just won't happen, right? We've all been there. So, some actions you will find are not actually producing fruit in your day. If they are not helping you get where you want to go in your business and reaching the next goal, you've got to learn to delete them. Delete them. You've got to say no. If they are still important, but someone else can do it 80% as well as you can, then you delegate it, right? Delete, delegate. Can you see these different buckets, these columns? So maybe for you, you're delegating the laundry, you're delegating meals to your kids. Maybe you're ordering in instead of cooking homemade food all the time. Maybe you're going to do grocery pickup instead of spending an hour in the store, right? Maybe you're saying no to a weekend away because you've got really big goals as a month ends and you need focus. Maybe you're hiring a VA to do some of the work for you. So you're deleting or you're delegating or you're doing the most important tasks. Let's talk about action versus motion, because a lot of us are saying, I'm so busy, I'm doing all the things, but sometimes we have to sit down and analyzing, are the things I'm doing actually creating me a paycheck, right? So for example, actions would be sending a message, doing a welcome call, posting, enrolling someone, right? You're actively busy in those things. You're producing a paycheck. Motion would be like listening to a podcast, setting up your calendar, mapping your time out, researching the products. They may seem important in the moment, and they can be, but they're not going to directly produce you a paycheck. So be aware of those things. Maybe there are even some actions that you are resisting. You're putting off, you're saving it till later. You're going and doing something more fun, more easy, and then you'll come back, but we don't actually do that, do we? We just say, oh, I'll move it till tomorrow. So I'm going to encourage you to do it first. And I'm talking to myself here, but get it out of the way. It will show you that you can do hard things and you're going to build the trust with yourself. It's also most likely the thing that feels the hardest is going to be what brings you in the most fruit. So, and you've got to do these things consistently. We can't be celebrating because, oh my gosh, I did one welcome call, I am done with them forever. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, right? You've got to keep practicing the hard skill over and over and over again, right? Let's talk about distractions. Now, we know that no one's life is free of distractions, but a lot of distractions we actually allow. If you don't manage your distractions, they will manage you and they will suck the productivity out of your day. So what are you allowing to distract you that is keeping you from reaching your goals? Maybe it's you're trying to get the most important focused work done when your kids actually need you the most. Maybe it's you picking up and answering every message or notification as it comes through. I know it's so tempting. Maybe you're worrying about all the tasks you have at hand to do, and you haven't even asked the Lord to come in and help you, right? We can't do this all on our own. Maybe you're stuck thinking of others and the next shiny thing out there instead of actually taking the action you know you need to take. Maybe you're putting fun before the hard work. Maybe you're stuck in your head and overthinking the messages you're about to send because you're more focused on what they might say instead of focused on how it could change their life. And maybe you're saying yes to everything and everybody else, but not to yourself. So reaching your goals will require discipline and focus and your attention and managing your time. Guys, it doesn't happen on accident, right? But it is worth it. It is worth the discomfort as God works to refine our character through this process. Growth is painful. Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck where you are, right? And that's where you do not belong. You were created for more, like Kayleen said. So rise to the occasion. Guys, your future self will thank you.
So good. And we can't end it there because we have to be committed. We can't do all this and say all this and not be committed to all these goals and action steps and beliefs that we have got to work hard towards, right? And so there was a quote that I read today. There's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you are committed to do something, you accept no excuses, only results. That is commitment, guys. And so something that I have on my bulletin board up here is who you are plus the right choices is what will make you successful. And we must be true to who we are. And we did talk about this, with mindset, like we have to know our value and our gifts and what we have to offer people. But it's those right choices paired with who we are that's going to give us the results that we're looking for. And so everything that Abby said above clearly laid it out, right? And so I just want to talk about commitment. Let's just call it out. We must commit to yourself, commit to your future customers, who are praying for someone to share health and happiness with them. Commit to treating your business like a business. Commit to your work. Commit to not make excuses. Commit to the failure process. Commit to leading yourself first. Commit to growth. Commit to stay inspired. Commit to investing in others in spite of rejection. Commit to minding your mind. Commit to keeping your goals. Commit to your impact. Commit to your dreams, and commit to celebrate every small step and then take the next. So what resources do we have access to help us remain committed? So we have our IPA sheets, which Abby mentioned above. Guys, the facts are in the data. And so if we're not tracking our output, then we're not going to be able to really know and identify our next goal, right? Seeking out accountability, whether it's your team offering this or you need to find a sideline who's, shooting for a similar goal that you are. Accountability is super important. Communicating with your leader, being on coaching calls. Avoidance is not going to help you grow, and that's not showing commitment. And so in closing, something that I wanted to share with you, it's kind of silly, but I was remembering, I don't know, I watched a video about salmon swimming up the river, and I was like, man, they had some kind of something to get themselves up that river. And so I started to research it a little bit. And what was really fascinating is, do you know why salmon swim upriver? Does anybody know? Put it in the chat. The main reason salmon swim upstream is to ensure the survival of their offspring. And that stood out to me so much because, ladies, what we are doing here is we are creating a legacy business that we can pass down to our children and our grandchildren, and that we are offering this for every single person that joins our team. This is their survival. Like, this is opportunity. This is answer to prayers for generations to come. And so there's no fight like the fight of a parent for their children and their families, right? That is a strong why. That is a hunger for change and a passion to get where you want to go. And something that Christina said the other night was, we don't get anywhere by drifting, right? We don't get to the end goal that we're shooting for just by drifting. Imagine if the salmon decided, we'll just drift there and see where we land. There would be no salmon because they swim up water so that they can spawn and they can have their eggs. And something else that's also very interesting about salmon is that they learn after they hatch in their home stream, they learn the smell of it. So as they migrate downstream and into the ocean, they may even memorize certain scents along the way. So even after being away for many years, because they're freshwater, but then they go to the ocean and then they come back when they're ready to spawn. And so oftentimes they'll go up a river or a stream, and then the scent will tell them that that's not the right place. And so they go back down and then they go find another stream until they recognize the scent from years ago. And so some similarities here. Follow me, track with me just for a minute. Guys, when we come into network marketing, it's like we're first born and we're going downstream, and it's thrilling and it's the ride of our life. And network marketing is so exciting. And you notice, a level of success, and it just seems like a breeze. But then we get into the ocean, our surroundings change, and then we have to get back for our family. We've got to go back. And so that's when the fight comes. That's when the determination to commit to the journey until we reach that end destination, because our families depend on it. And so, yeah, there's probably going to be bears along the way that try to eat you, but I'm just going to, say that that's mindset, constantly, trying to cause fear, trying to cause you to stop your journey, but keep moving forward and have that desire and that passion and that grit and that determination, and stay committed no matter what. And you set your goals, you set your pace. And the last thing that I want to encourage you with is, we're not in a race. We're not. It's not who gets to diamond the fastest. It's not who gets to ruby the fastest. It's your journey. And the point of all of this is that you embrace it as a business and you fight the temptations, because the end goal is going to be worth it. And so be encouraged with this. Have hunger. Don't let it dissipate just because the emotion from convention might be dissipating. Keep focused and go over these notes often, because I'm going to be doing the same. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Love you all.